Last night, Yuta Watanabe put up a career-high 21 points on 7 for 11 shooting, but some Raptors fans would be surprised to see that Yuta is still on a two-way contract. So in this video, should we give Yuta a contract for next season? Let's get into it. Welcome Raptors fans to Amateur Hour Sports. This is the channel where you get NBA content with a focus on the Toronto Raptors at least 4 days a week. So if it is your first time here with me today and you like what you see, you want more of myself talking about the Raptors in videos just like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Show your support to the channel on our road to 3K. Also, follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/Amateur Sports. We watch along every single Raptors game and more. But today, we're talking about Yuta Watanabe on the back of a fantastic performance against the Orlando Magic. In a game where Paul Watson may have outshined him a little bit, I still wanted to get a Yuta video out today because people have been asking about it on stream. People have been asking about it in the YouTube comments. So here we are today. And what better time than on the back of another career high? I believe it's the second time this week that he has put up a career high. Had a 14-point game earlier in the week, but this one tops that 21 points for Yuta. And he's kind of struggled in the last month or so for his play time with the Raptors. It's changed in the last, I'd say, week, but since, honestly, everything changed from the start of the season where he was playing really well, getting serviceable minutes. You know, he was a nice wing defender. He could grab rebounds, and you could rely on him to knock down his threes. But for some reason, all of that changed with that soul-snatching Anthony Edwards poster on him. And it was like a complete 180 of his ability to play. You know, he started missing a lot of shots. His play time slowly started to regress. And honestly, fell out of the rotation for the Toronto Raptors. But in the last couple of weeks, with everybody out with injuries, Yuta has been having to play a lot more often, and he has really excelled in this role, knocking down his threes. He's getting to the rim a lot better, and his defense is still stellar. Also, I love his rebounding, whether it be on defense or even on the offensive glass. Yuta is a guy who knows how to rebound. So, playing into this role, earning these extra minutes, and it comes off with a great performance here. 21 points for Yuta. Love to see that for him. You know, he's out here earning a contract for next season, still fighting on his current two-way contract, but I love to see him out here fighting for that next contract for the next season, whether it be with the Toronto Raptors, whether it be for another team. Yuta has been playing very well and is looking towards, I think, a second contract with the Toronto Raptors for next season. I would personally bring him back. But the Raptors, they continue to win here. They've won 2 in a row, once against the San Antonio Spurs, once against the Orlando Magic. Back-to-back wins for the Raptors after continuously resting their starters. I don't think the Spurs game went exactly as to plan for the front office. They rested a lot of players but still ended up winning. So the front office said before the Magic game, all right, you guys want to keep winning? How about no Gary Trent, no Lowry, no Siakam, no OG Anunoby, but this group of guys still go out there fighting and come away with the comfortable victory in the end against the Orlando Magic, who have definitely committed to a tank. The front office looks like they're kind of wanting to tank, but the players on the court continue to say no. And here's why the players on the court continue to say no. Because yesterday against the Orlando Magic, there were 10 players who featured for the Toronto Raptors. Of those 10 players, only 2 of them have guaranteed contracts for next season. So 8 out of 10 of the Toronto Raptors on the court are fighting for their careers, fighting for a contract, fighting for their job for next season. I don't think Yuta Watanabe cares about where the Raptors draft next season. I think he cares about being on an NBA team next season, and that is why he's out there hustling. He is out there grinding and putting up performance like that. 21 points. Paul Watson, also a great game. Does he care if the Raptors get a top 5 pick in the draft? He only cares about having a contract signed for him to play NBA basketball next season. That is why this group of individuals, you know, not the best, not the most flashy group of players. However, they go out there and hustle, they grind, and they put in effort. And because of that, they outwork the other teams and they put up some wins on the board. Yuta, in particular, is a guy who is fighting not only for the contract next season, but his play time this season. Again, fell out of favor with the rotation after that poster by Anthony Edwards, but he is fighting his way back into it. The only way to get yourself back in the team, back in the rotation, is to fight for it and show it on the court, even in those limited spells in the court where maybe you're only getting 5 minutes a game. In those 5 minutes, be the best player on the court for those 5 minutes and show the coaching staff, show anybody watching that you belong on the court. And Yuta, over the last couple of weeks, has been doing this absolutely. He's knocking down those shots again. And earlier in the season, I said that what Yuta needs to do to take his game to the next level is assure his finishing at the rim. Because earlier on in the season, though he was posing a 40% shooting percentage from 3, he was under 30% from the field. So you knew that he could hit his threes, but when he got down in the interior, wasn't as assured as a finisher there. But I've seen in the last couple of weeks, now that he's had to take on a bit of a bigger role in the offense, he's being smart in getting to the rim. Had a nice dunk in the lane yesterday. He is being aggressive. I think that's the biggest thing for him. His character's a little bit shy, but on the court yesterday, you could see he was being aggressive in getting to the rim, getting those tough makes at the rim, and still, when he has to, he can go outside and spread the floor. Shot 2 for 4 from 3 yesterday. Not to mention, along with those 21 points, also put up a very nice 6 rebounds for the team. So Yuta was great on the offensive glass. I think he's great on the defensive glass. I think he's a very good defender. He's a long defender. He's a smart, highly intelligent defender. And also, he can hit those threes. So let's discuss about his contract for next season, whether he will receive one or not. I think that based off this little stretch here, Yuta has proven that he has a role with this Toronto Raptors team beyond this season. I know there's a lot of guys fighting for their contracts for the Raptors, for anybody next season, but I think Yuta has enough to offer this team that the Raptors should seriously consider signing him again for the next season. I think he offers enough. Again, there's a lot to like about his defense, and I think that his offensive game is slowly coming. I don't think he's going to be like a key figure in the rotation for the Raptors, but you bring in Yuta, you can rely on him to do that job on defense, do that job on the glass, and also, he has the ability to knock down some of those threes. In his college days, Yuta was kind of regarded as a wing who could handle like a point guard, a guy who has those guard type of handles but can still play as the 3 or the 4 in your lineup. So that's a nice player to have. He has the ability to fit in with this Raptors system. He's a defensive-minded guy. He's a highly intelligent defender. Maybe he's not always getting the steals, even though he does. Even though he can get the steals, even though he can get the blocks, even though he can get the stops. It's just the way he calculates these defensive sets to occupy the spaces so that maybe that extra pass can happen for a team. Maybe they have to shoot the shot that they weren't primarily focused on getting, because he occupies those smart spaces to take away certain things on offense for the other team. But also, even along with just the eye test stuff, he still has the stats. He can get those steals. Again, he can get those blocks. And in transition, he's got the handling, he's got the shooting. It's just the finishing. He's tall enough to be a great finisher at the rim. Just slowly work on this part of his game. I think if he starts to work on that part of his game, get that sorted, Yuta can really take his game to the next level. But the fact that this guy is on a 2-way contract was, I think, a bit of a steal for the Raptors. I know he had that tough month. March, the entire team had a tough month, but him in particular, he had a bit of a tough month in March, but it seems like him and the rest of the team are really coming around in April. And again, even though the management might be wanting to commit to a tank with Siakam, Lowry, OG, and Gary Trent all being rested for the same game, there are a lot of guys in this team who are playing for themselves. They're still playing for the Raptors, they're still playing for the team, but they are really playing for themselves, the contract, money for next year, job security for next year. They don't give a rat's ass about where the Raptors are going to be drafting next season. They need to be on an NBA roster for next season, and there isn't enough space on the Raptors one for all of these guys. They got to get that contract somewhere else. But I think that it would be in the Raptors' best interest for Yuta to return next season for all of these great traits that I listed. And also, it's just a guy who's hustling out there. Again, when he comes on the court, when he steps on the court, when he steps on the hardwood, you know what he's going to bring. He's going to bring the energy, and he's going to bring the heart. That is a guy you can rely on the bench. Even though he may not always be the most talented, that is something that is reliable about his game. But yet still, with that, he does possess the talent to be a part of this roster. I think if the Raptors, they want to improve themselves in the offseason, they want to be a playoff team, an assured playoff team in the middle of the Eastern Conference, if not the top end of the Eastern Conference. I think this is a good player to have as your 10th, 11th, 12th guy in the rotation for his reliability as a player and for the great traits that I've listed, whether it be on offense, whether it be on defense, plus the added bonus of the incredible merch sales that he possesses, one of the highest selling jerseys in the NBA, great brand recognition for the Raptors. That's just a little bit of a sweetener. That's just an added bonus because the player himself has played himself into an NBA contract for next season, and not one of those two-way contracts. He has played himself into a actual NBA contract, and I hope the Raptors are the team that gives that to him at the start of next season. Let me know all of your thoughts and opinions on Yuta Watanabe, whether it be this season, whether it be giving him a contract next season. Do you think the Raptors should re-sign him for next season? Do you think his two-way contract should be upgraded from this season? Let me know everything in the comments down below. But that wraps it up for me for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you're still here, please like the video. If you like to help us reach new viewers, goes a long way to helping the channel. And subscribe to Amateur Hour Sports for more content just like this. Again, Raptors videos at least 4 times a week. Plus, we watch along every single Raptors game on Twitch, twitch.tv/amateursports. Link is in the description. We just hit 25 subs and 150 followers on Twitch. Be a part of the process. At the end of the day, believe what I say. If you disagree, that is okay. We'll see you again next time for another video.